but you can't just talk about it like transits. It's a different thing. They're longer time phases. So what I've done is I've taken, what do we have here? There's progressed sun. Oh, we did two things. Yes. Okay. And progressed Venus. Okay. So this is the printout with the progressed sun and the hexagrams. Sorry, my getting dry throat. Okay. Yeah. Here's June 7th, 2019, you had the sun, progressed sun went into Aries. So progressed sun's just got into Aries. I know what I wanted to talk about here. So progressed sun goes into Aries, and it's in the first degree till June 8th, 2020. Then it's going to square Mars in 2021. Then it's going to conjunct the moon in 2023. Then it starts moving out of that aspect. Now in 2024, it goes into the third house. And then it will square the ascendant in 2028. That's longer way. So here, but when it goes into Aries, an interesting thing happens. It's in the Aries sign. It's in the Aries pentan. It's in the Aries subpentan. This is this whole year. It's really Aries, Aries, Aries. Even though it's not up to the moon, this is, the sun is super Aries in this first degree. It's not making bad aspects during this degree, but I wanted to look at this degree. So it's in a hexagon called approach, line 1 and 2. Line 1 for the first degree, yeah. So line 1, and I think I'm not even. I think I might just take the hexagrams and go over this so we can. I want to really do Venuses, but yeah, we got time. We're okay. So I'm going to do a bit of the I Ching to look at this. Just too curious not to do this. So let's take the Aries one. Yeah, we don't have to change pages very much for this. For the progressed sun. So okay, here we go. It's in the hexagon called approach. So this is a theme that's just starting to come in. It's just starting to do June, but it's right there now. And like the shifts from Pisces, from the darkness is greater to daylight is greater, for the sun to go through. This is a big shift. At that time, there's a faster change of light and darkness in the world than any other time of the year. So like at the solstices, if you're watching the sunrise to sunset, or how much the light and dark changes, at the solstices, just around the solstices, they move about 6 minutes. Daylight gets, there's about 6 months between more daylight and less darkness. It's about 6 minutes a day. At the equinoxes, it's 24 minutes a day, 24 minutes of light and darkness shift. You really feel this dynamic of change happening in the world. The lights in the springtime, the light's getting more. In the fall, it's really getting darker. It comes in fast because this change is going on so fast. That's why the equinox is such dynamic points. So it just went over the equinox, and it's in Aries. It's on go. Aries, Aries, Aries. So the first part of this is for the first 6 years, it's in this hexagram approach. But it's also in the hexagram approach for this next year. It's also in the hexagram approach from June, from June till December 22nd. So it's in that hexagram approach right now. So it's triple duty. One's for 6 years, one's for 1 year, one's for 2 months. The same lesson, quickly and quicker, and then slower, and then more slowly. So it's repeating the cycle. So the first you have earth above, light below, receptivity without joy within, yielding to pleasure. One will act on one's desires. No one will oppose. Many will want to join in. If one does not take the right approach, the quality of who one attracts will suffer. Well, this question of the right approach, that's where her Mars, that's the hexagram her Mars is in to begin with, the right approach. She started from there and it backed up. I went forward, finding it back to so finding the right approach is a big puzzle of her own natal Mars. Through the progressions, it certainly stays in this. So this theme is a strong, the image, great change, the light returns. the light, the independence, the freedom, doing one's own thing returns. She's ending the marriage. She's going to get her own life back. The earth is flooded. Action will replace inertia. Laughter will overcome fear. To champion the helpless brings light to the darkness and ensures success. An energetic start is essential. So she's pushing. She's forcing it. And I'm pretty sure he's resisting and fighting it. So receptive without, cheerful within. Everyone is happy with the approach of spring and the increasing light. Happiness is the right approach. One takes the initiative and encounters no opposition. No one wants to be confined by the sensitivities of others. There is a little more freedom than there was yesterday. The darkness is fading. The light is becoming easier. Everyone responds to happiness. One person's good cheer will have a vast effect. So she's moving in that direction. And I'm not reading the relationships. We're going to go to the lines. So the first line, this is the prominent one. This is the one that's going on till January 21st. It goes on till June the 8th of 2020. Started in June 7th of 19. So it's in this one line. Going forth in good cheer, be in the moment, follow your impulses. Something must be done. A firm approach, be direct, do not hesitate. One starts in good cheer, there will be no complaints. Spontaneous initiative, good fortune. She knows she's got to go. She knows she's got to do it. It's her moment. She can't let it go any longer. It was more complicated to do. Pisces, how to deal with this, how that. The sun's now in Aries, is Mars directed. So the sun is here, it's coming up to the square of the Mars, coming up to conjunct the moon. This is a big issue in a lifetime. So this was going on for this whole year. It was in line 1 from June till now, till December 22nd. So it was only line 1. Would have been in line 1 for 2 months. So June to July to August, then went to line 2, line 3 is in line 4 for this aspect. So, okay, so the same theme would have been there for the June, July, and then it would have been there more specifically for the 10 days from June 7th till about the solstice. So that was the really peak change when, as the sun went there, a huge boom. She would have felt, for her, just been, I'm not taking it. I'm going to be the hammer, not the nail anymore. Pisces gets left behind. We could go through these and read this. It's very interesting read to go through this and see other ideas. But I'm not going to stay here because there's something else. But I just wanted to point out sometimes the 3 pentans all being together, it makes that a very powerful time. And then it moves to Taurus. It stays in Aries. It's going to be the Aries pentan is going to be there till 2024. In that time period, the sub-pentan is going Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, Leo, Virgo, all the I, me, independent actions. So the sun is total independent geared during this whole time. It's not about, I got stuff to do, don't get in my way. Well, she has that in her chart, but I think being a woman, being a mom, having a kid, you make decisions and you make trade-offs you would never make being independent. So this is her first run at real independence, and her soul's aligned up to it. And the Saturn's coming up showing the work. She's got to really make the new independence. She's got some studying, and she's got to become a master and specialize in, like she's retouching up her astrology. That's a good thing. She's got other thing. Maybe she goes to India. Maybe she gets more of the master yoga thing. I'm not sure. But the growth that isn't tied with it. I think the yoga's strong in this because of the Aries influence of the sun, of what she can do. And I think it also involves, it's because it's moving into the 3rd house in 2024. It's moving towards traveling more and going places more. Okay. Now, that's the first test. The one I really wanted to talk about that is curious because her Venus is just retrograding now. Okay. Venus on that June 7th, just as the sun went into Aries, progressed sun went into Aries. No, this is the progressed sun. So this had it broken down. Good, I did this more detailed. So this would show you, this is the 1st degree of Aries, this whole page. And then the subpentan, you see it's hexagram 19, approach line 1. That's what we read. Then the second level goes, hexagram approach only went until July 28th this summer. Then I went into line 2. Then I went into line 3. So it's in line 3 now. So let's just look a little bit at that. We'll just follow this through a little bit further. I mean, when you're doing this, you're preparing it, and I'm trying to prepare so you're seeing it and being able to show it. But like, I get into these things, it seems to me, then I'll go off on a trail for a few hours, I'll follow these things along and go, and then I come back, oh, okay, gotta come back. And I just indulge it like that when I can, just for my own interest, my own curiosity. Because so when it goes into the second place, which was from June 17th. Oh, no, on this one, no, I went in second place August 7th, on the second level, August 7th till October 7th. It's in line 2. Earth is muddy and wet, restless. One does not stay at home. It furthers one to have somewhere to go and something to do. One laughs at obstacles, success. One put limits on one's own indulgences and keeps passions in control. Energy is directed to helping others. One cannot sit still. One moves impulsively. If one is hurt, there will be no blame. If no one is hurt, there will be no blame. There is laughter. Inertia will be overcome. Positive progress. However, I know during this there were some threats for her husband during these time periods going through with this. So it's puts a perspective on it. Gives some perspective to think on how do I approach this or how to deal with this on another frequency. It's in the third line now from October 7th till December 7th this week, and it's changing to the 4th. So a field of mud. There is doubt but no hesitation. One walks through it. One's feet get wet. There's mud on one's clothes and a smile on one's face. Okay, so things are changing. The water is deeper than it appears. The path is difficult. The more prepared one is, the better it will be. To consider limits would be wise. One gets too happy, there will be a lapse in duty, and others will be inconvenienced. If one's intention is good and one is prepared to make an extra effort to compensate, one will be forgiven. So it's easy to go off track here. But this is just coming out December 7th. Now it's going into line 4 for the next 2 months. And this is the point. These next 2 months are kind of the critical point. This whole approach, she's approaching to be herself, but to get the approach, she has to clear off the old karma from the marriage and complete it and finish it. They haven't been together for a while, but the issue around the money is a volatile one. So it's okay. 4th place, one's clothes are dirty. When the new shoes get wet, there will be some inconvenience. One grumbles to oneself, but must follow through on what has been started. No blame. So there's still stuff to work out. Much to be done, little to talk about. Inner truth will be more important than outer circumstances. Laughter, words that will invoke a good response, change is welcome. So it's moving that way. So it was line. So this is like each of these cycles of this. What she's doing in this year across these lines is going to happen over the next 6 years again. These same stories of moving forward. So there's really a strong inner affirmation that this is what she has to do. She's not doubting herself. And right now, see, till December 7th, it's just going into the hexagram of inner truth, December 7th till January 27th. Then, interesting enough, it goes into a hexagram called the marrying maiden on this finest level, on this 10 days. And that talks about the woman being too strong or aggressive and struggles with the contentions in a marriage is in that period. But this little point of the sun, this was just the sun hitting, why did I mark this? Yeah, this is the whole period until March 29th to 20, that the pentan is in Aries, the sign is in Aries, the pentan's in Aries, the subpentan in Aries during this whole time period.